And before that, I am Dr. Vasanth Kumar, Principal, Nagaratna Mangalam Arts and Science College, India, Tamil Nadu, India. And we are going to discuss about the research techniques and digital tools for English language studies. First, the people, we want to understand about that. What is research? Research is a finding, so new things to provide a new platform for the education sector. That is the duty for a researcher, because every researcher is a creator of the world. It ensures that research process upholds the values of following things. It was connected between the integrity, objectivity, transparency, and accountability. These are the main goals. So under this topic, research techniques and digital tools for English language studies, it follows three main objectives. Number one is explore the methods, how we are going to dive into the diverse research approaches in English studies. Not only in English studies, every research must be focused on the exploring methods, how we are going to follow the methods for our findings, for our research ideas. So second one is learn digital tools. It is the present need, because in previous time we are going to have follow the manuscript and we are going to have another written statement. That statement will be have some result, that is only the research end. But now we are going to use so many tools from the digital era. And third objective is impact. Apply for the impact, how you are going to different from the other research to utilizing the digital tools, and what is your practice. Because every research must follow the honesty and integrity and objectivity and confidential of some research ideas. So we are going to follow the research techniques overview to uplift our research quality. So we are always have the two main research methods, qualitative methods and quantitative methods. And previously, some of our research persons mentioning about the quality and quantitative methods. In depth of understanding the context, as a literature man, if I am going to touch a Victorian age, poet's poem means, if I am going to touch the context, what the context is related with the historical values. Quantitative method means, as a literature man, I have another English research, that means English language teaching. In that type, we are going to find the statistical values. For example, if I am going to research on the values of the communicative English methods in higher secondary education, means I am going to apply the statistical tools to that higher secondary people. How many people are very good in the communication? How many people are not good in the communication? How we are going to improve? These are the questions I want to raise through the Google form or a data collector app. I'm going to use for the quantitative methods. Some research must be combined with the mixed methods, that is a qualitative and quantitative method. Apart from that, historical and comparative examinations, cross-cultural context. This is very, very essential for arts people, the social science people. As a literature man, if I'm going to take out poem or a drama I want to study about the historical values. For the example, if I'm going to take Shakespeare's drama, Julius Caesar, means I'm going to study about the Rome and Greek mythological transparency. So we are going to collect, and further that, whatever we are going to follow the method, qualitative or quantitative, the action of the research will be practical and a cyclical problem. From my research is started from the 2001, means from the 2025, what the cycle problems, what is the problem solving methods previously used, what the new result I am going to find from my research. These are the main values for the when we are going to use some techniques in our research. And when you are going to select on topic in research means, that is a very, very important thing. If a supervisor suggested, if your friend suggested, if your colleague suggested, I'm going to choose this topic means, that is not a good for the research. A researcher must be select his own interest based and knowledge based subject only. There are so many researchers, they are going to select the topics without secondary data, without primary data. If the data is available, our duty is to create the data, that is the secondary thing. But when we are going to begin the research means, at least we need some primary data available or not, or a secondary data is available or not. And fine thing. Next one is, if it's available means, a researcher must be study the primary data A to Z in the nook of the corner, all the cornerstone. Every researcher must be read about that primary data. If a commerce man, if a management is going to make a research in the management study means, he must be, for example, if a management if an economical man is going to choose about the economical structure of the 2025 in India means, he wants to study about the primary data of 2024 from the nook and corner of the data. But the present researcher doesn't think about that. They always focus on what the secondary data are available. We want to complete the research. That will be spoil the quality of the research. So qualitative research methods, I'm already mentioned. Textual analyze, interpreting written works, discuss the analyze, language in social context. If I'm going to start a research in a Canadian writing or Afghanistan writing means, if I'm going to study about the primary text means the directly the author written by. If I'm going to write down poem means, I'm the primary writer. The secondary writer means the writer was studied about that poem, he is going to apply his own opinion, that is secondary data. So the primary data is textual analyze. Then I'm going to interpreting the research, what the author says, what I am says, in between what the critic says, that is called a discuss. And which type of language they use in the research, that is the main thing. If I'm going to discover one findings, it was very useful for the world means, we want to deliberate that text, that research to in a simple manner of to use the language, because the English is a common language for the world, but it was different from the country to country. In Indonesia, there was a spelling different, grammar different. In Afghanistan, it was something different. In India, the language is different. American English is different. British English is different. Which is the perfect language for the society? So exploring the personal stories, narrative inquiries, ethnography is very, very important. Historical values. So these are the key approaches. Only lift the qualitative research methods to the research. Qualitative methods offers a deep insight into the meaning, as I am mentioning that line. Qualitative methods, so very, very deeply impact. It makes something impact. Qualitative methods offer deep insights. Without following the qualitative methods, no one finding the good result. And my next one is quantitative methods. The quantitative methods will be quantitative and mixed method. It's also it's experimental one. Systematic data collection, large text analysis, and mixed methods of approach integrating diverse data, control of variable testing. This is the only thing. When we are going to involve in the research means, we have so many data from the various sectors, but at the same time we want to follow some limit, and we want to arrange that in the sequentially, historically, with providing the number system. But recent researchers they are collecting so many data. They are not able to arrange the data. Every day they are arranging the data. They are crossing their time. They are crossing their limit, but they are completing their research. So the quantitative and mixed methods is we want to follow very carefully. It is a systematic one, but we want to follow some system. We want to collect the data in a limited ways. What we need, what we wanted to do. The researcher must follow the to-dos. And historical and action research. It was mainly thing for that, who's that? Literature man. Literature tracing the genre, evolution, language, when the poem was origin, when the poem was poetical devices are founded from the year. So these are the things. And my second line is documenting the linguistic shifts, archaeological research. These are the primary one because from the Chaucer, the father of English poetry, who was using the language in a different way. Because that time, after the 5th century only, we are finding the English language. And after the 8th century only, we polished the English language. Other people doesn't know about that. There was a language, that language is called EMD, East Midland Dialects. That language has some polish. Then it's called Middle language, Middle English. Now we are having a modern English, American English, Indian English, British English, Afghan English. There are so many of English, Canadian English. So these are the things, actions of the research. And classroom-based improvements, direct. We are going to collect the methods, what the students we are going to provide. As a literature man, we follow two type of research based on the textual analysis, that is literature research and the language research. The action research is based on the language research. Digital tools and categories. My topic, the second part of my topic. At present, we are all having so many tools. Here we have so many tools, findings are here. Corpus text analysis, data collections, presentation and publications, reference management, speech analysis, AI writing support. These are the things. These are the things we are having the tools for our research. For our research, we are having the lot of tools. So how we are going to use the tools? That is the main thing. We must finding what the tools are available, what is the needed one for our research. But at the same time, we must follow that algorithm. Copy and paste. That is not a good research. Copy and paste is not a good research. So we want to avoid whenever we are going to depend on these type of tools, we must remember the ethics of the research. The research is a new finding by the author. It is not a copy or a paste methods. So next one is corpus and text analysis tools. There are number of tools that are available. Angone, Sketch Engine, Coco, Voican tools, Nebula tools, Levib tools, concurrence and frequency tools, corpus query system, large American English tools, linguistics inquiries tools. These are the tools applied for the literature. And AI writing and speech tools. I'm already discussing about the ChatGPT, Quillbat, Grammarly, Turnitin tools. It's about plagiarism checking, speech, LN. These are the what is this? What I mentioning about that? These are the available tools. Apart from the tools, we are having lot of tools. So my third part of the conclusion of this research means, in my first, the research techniques and digital tools for English language studies. Now I'm exploring what the research is, how many tools are there. These are the things. But now I'm going to advise the researcher first know about that. These are the research findings. How we are going to make a research. But apart from that, every researcher must be update their knowledge in technically. Still, there are so many researchers having only email ID. Vasanth ma'am said about that paper presentation, title, abstract. These are the things. How many people are having the ArchID ID or CHID? We want to raise awareness about the ArchID ID. one of the mandatory for the researcher. If you want to become an international researcher means you want to maintain the ORCID ID, ORCHID, ORCID. That is the international value. A researcher must be make their profile international level. So this is my conclusion. A researcher must follow the ethics, must use the tools. We are in digital era, but apart from this tool, we must be maintain and think what is the primary book, the primary data, and primary of your ethics, primary of your mind. These are the only tool to empower good values of the research. So thank you for the opportunity of the Rogan Institute for this wonderful opportunity. Next, I thank Irfan Konsar, who was a wonderful person. I have a great friendship with him. Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for all the researchers. Thanks. Any questions, please? You can.